Welcome into another episode of the Big Dog Show with my guy Marcedes Lewis. I'm David Kaplan. It's brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers and our friends at Ankin Law, 3126 million for the great Howard Ankin. Put that lawyer in your phone. Marcedes, welcome back from you were in Cabo. I'm in Jamaica as we're taping this. It's just nice to decompress for a few days.
Yeah, we're back, and I'm hype about that. Obviously, the last time we spoke was before we went to London and handled business. We had a bye week off, so I went to Cabo with some of my good friends and family, and got a chance to reset. And it was great to be back in the building this week, preparing to get to Washington and take care of business. Obviously, like we talked about before, they present some issues on both sides of the ball. They're playing well in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams. Dan Quinn has those guys rolling on defense. Cliff Kingsbury, a good friend of mine, has a young guy rolling behind center. Not sure if he's going to play in our game, but, they got Marcus Mariota over there too. So we're both him and the young guy, both similar skill sets. So our preparation doesn't change. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Before we bring in your special guest, I wanted to ask you about going through the game prep now after a bye. You and I were talking before we started the show for Caleb, for your special guest, and other guys who are early in their careers. College football, unless you're getting to a playoff or a bowl game in like 2 weeks, you're done. You guys have like more than half the season to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most underrated aspect of being a rookie coming into the NFL. People ask you, like, how's the speed and how are the meetings? But it's like, once you get to this part in the season, it's like, how is your body, right? How is your mind? Because we're just getting started. And the guy that we're going to bring in next is really good friend of mine at this point, and probably one of the most mature rookies coming in that I've been around. And I'm excited to have him on the show and kind of pick his brain a little bit. Go ahead and bring my guy in.
All right, let's welcome in Bears rookie, 9th pick overall out of the University of Washington. We've been wanting to talk to him. Rome Odunze joins us now here on the Big Dog Show. Rome, thank you for taking time. Big Dog just can't stop talking about how much he loves having you as a teammate, your maturity level. So how is the first year going, and have you hit that rookie wall? Because there's a long way to go yet.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. No, like Big Dog said, I mean, I appreciate him, being my mentor and all those guys. Like he said, really very close friend of mine. And I've been getting through it with Big Dog, you know what I mean, with all the vets in the room. And that's exactly how it's been. Like he said, it's an underrated part. Like the rookie season is just crazy because, it's from phase to phase to phase. I was just playing, in the national championship January 8th, and then straight into combine training, straight into pro day, straight into 30 visits and meetings and all those different things, straight into, all the phases that goes into the offseason of an NFL season. So, I'm right there next to Keenan, right next to Big Dog, getting my treatment. Like, man, y'all bodies feel all right. Like, man, y'all boys going into, Big Dog in his 19th year, Keenan, I think in 12. I'm like, ooh, oh yeah, you gotta take care of the body.
Yeah, man, I think that was one of our first initial conversations that we had. You came to me and were asking me about just my routine and the things I do for my body and stuff like that. And I feel like the sooner you can kind of create that routine, the better off that you're going to be throughout your career. And obviously, as you continue to go and build your longevity, sometimes you're going to take things away. Sometimes you're going to add things to your routine. But it's just important to make sure that, like, mentally, physically, that you're ready to go, because if, this league that we play in is very unforgiving. And you want to kind of mitigate the risk of injury, the risk of getting burned out by being mindful and putting some of that energy back into yourself. So it's been good to watch you develop, bro.
No, I appreciate it, man, for sure. Yeah, like you were saying, I'm like very visual learner. So everything these guys do, I'm like, whether I'm asking them or if I'm, just watching them throughout the day, I'm keen on everything they do, especially Big Dog with his routine, man. 19 years at the tight end position. That's different.
It's crazy, man. So to kick this off, obviously, I went to UCLA. Did my thing in a yak dime back in the day. What initially drew you to Washington?
Yeah, no, for sure. I was I'm a West Coast kid. Las Vegas, I feel like, is an extension, of the West Coast. So I kind of, had a feeling I wanted to stay in the Pac-12. And what really drew it to me, my high school football days, honestly, were filled with a lot of transactional sort of relationships. Honestly, I went to Bishop Gorman, was one of the top schools in the nation
I'm
at the
familiar.
time. I think they were going on, at the time, I think they were going on their second national championship. That boy. Tate was doing his thing, QB1 over there. So, the relationship wasn't right. I felt like, especially coming from a very loving and caring relationship playing youth ball. So my decision really was for the culture and for the staff. Coach Peterson over there, who's at Boise State for a long time, Coach Junior Adams, who's at Oregon now, were texting me like every other day. Junior Adams flew out to work out with me a little bit, texting my mom, texting my parents nearly every day. So, and visiting there too, they were all super welcoming. So that was the biggest thing. And when you add that on top of, good football and good education, that was the pick for me.
I was telling this to Marcedes earlier, but as I was researching some things about you, you talked about going to Bishop Gorman, A, the challenge that it would be, but B, there weren't air-conditioned indoor facilities, and you were training in 115-degree weather, and you said that made me tougher. Take us through what that's like.
Oh yeah. No, those were the days where I became, like a real football player, going through the grind of it, the mud of it. You know what I mean? Like down south, they love football, and I think it's partly because of the reason they go out there, they train and whatever. It's 90 degrees, full humidity, all that. Like Vegas is like that too when you're training in those 110, 115 summers. I mean, we're grinding now. We're grinding, and we're missing out on social life in high school. We're staying late after school, workouts in the morning too, and they challenge you, and it challenges you. And when you go through that fire, I think you come out for the better. And those are things that all those Gorman boys go through that builds you for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, we could definitely tell just by your production and what you were able to do in college, and then obviously had a great camp and come in and doing your thing. And earlier on in the season, having to play through injury, and I pulled you aside and told you how much I respected that because there's a difference between being hurt and being injured, right? And as you come in as a rookie, like you don't know what you don't know, but if you're a competitor, you're going to try to play through it unless you truly can't. And I would say about 80% of the people in that building thought that you weren't going to suit up, and you went ahead and did that. And so obviously I already had respect for you for the way that you work. But when you did that, I put you in a box as one of my guys. Like I truly associate with that attitude. And that's how I've always been. And that's why I'm still doing this thing as well as I'm doing it at this age, because, the NFL will always present you a way out, right? And it's up to you if you want to take that way out, or it's up to you if you're just going to push through that adversity. And that was just the start of it. And you did that, came out well on the other side, and you've been balling and doing your thing in your role. To that point, we'll stick to college a little bit. Can you share some of the most memorable moments from your time at Washington?
Yeah, no, definitely. That last season we had last year was filled with them. Honestly, that was one of the best years just in my life in general. Seemed like everything was going right. But one game, one moment that was particularly special was the Pac-12 championship game. I mean, it was set up kind of perfect. Honestly, it was us versus Oregon, basically to go to the national championship playoffs. In Las Vegas, Nevada, in Allegiant Stadium, a stadium, in my hometown where I hadn't played yet, had missed the year before, against our rival school, with my boys who, at that point, my first 2 years at UW didn't go too well with our record and everything. The year before, junior year, went pretty solid. And this year, finally getting over the hump. So I had about 80 family members there, man. I was asking around for tickets like crazy. Like, come on, man, come on. Like, let me get some tickets. So, man, when we had won that game with my brothers, with my family in the stands, they all had their Odunze shirts on. That's really when it came full circle for me and my appreciation for football. Those moments, Big Dog, they shine through. You're like, man, like man, I love this sport. I love what it does for myself and my family, and I love the effort that I put into it. So
No doubt, no doubt.
Rome, in terms of being at Washington, one of my close friends who also works here on the channel with us is Olin Kreutz, who just got named now as a semifinalist, maybe to go to the Hall of Fame. He's one of the great centers in the history of the league. He made his home in Chicago after his career at Washington. He said, bro, I show up there and I find out football's big, but crew is bigger. And then they just had a movie that was out.
Yeah.
You got to Washington, were you like him? What do you mean crew? Crew is huge there.
Oh yeah, no, the crew was huge there. Crew was huge there for sure. And they get a lot of love on campus, definitely. And that movie was awesome. We got a chance to view it last year. And yeah, but the thing about crew is that's like the one, you know, football players, like especially on campus, is like, man, the football team works hard, man. They got early workouts, they got you know, training, and everybody, you know, sees that because the athletes all work around each other, you know, at certain times. But the crew, that's one of them sports where we was waking up like, oh, the crew's already out there. They already getting it in on their little machines, their little Rome machines. So it's like much respect to the crew team over there at Seattle, because man, if they working they working as hard, if not harder than us out there. So they get a lot of love for sure.
That's cool, man. So as you like we talked about earlier, we're creeping into November now. Obviously we're just about to get started rolling. How do you feel your time at Washington prepares you for the NFL? Like, what skills or lessons do you think you could take away from that to kind of lead you into, you know, this rookie year?
Yeah, definitely. I think some of the adversity, like that we had faced in my beginning years, were very, you know, some lessons that have kind of carried me in the league as well. Just like you said, with the injuries, you know, I faced early on, and the hard work of it. Like, you know, college is hard work, the training is hard work, and, you know, like carry that into the league as well. And I think also the perfect example, like Puka Nacua was ahead of me in at Washington. Him and Terrell Bynum, Ty Jones, who were some pretty solid receivers. Of course, Puka, you know, breaking the receiver record last year. But so that, and I was underneath them, you know, being mentored by them as well. And that's kind of like a similar situation that I am in now, like with DJ and Keenan, you know, being able to learn from them and grow alongside them. To be able to watch them go out there and do their thing, just kind of like I was doing with Puka. So that sort of situation is, you know, almost very similar to what I'm in now, and, you know, kind of prepares me for that mindset for, you know, wanting to go out there and eat, and also learning from the guys and playing complementary football.
I don't know if you saw the video. I think I talked about it when I had dinner with Marcedes. There's video of the Bears draft room before they picked you, and Poles is going, should we trade up? And Ian Cunningham's going, 77% we're getting you. And Poles is like, I think they're taking him in New York. Did you see the video? And what's your reaction that whole night? And then it worked out.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I seen that video for sure. And I'm watching the video like, yeah, straight up, go get him, go get him. Go get him. Which is funny because my boy, you know, Mike Penix was drafted right before me. So he just edged me out right at the end there to get the draft ahead of me.
What type of guy is Penix?
Oh, he's a great dude, man. You know, leader, for sure. Like, you know, someone that brought everybody together, and someone that like gets along with everybody in the building, and also a hard worker too. Like, you know, if you know his story, he went through, you know, 2 major knee surgeries, injuries, and was continuing to, you know, fight and work hard every single day, like out there, like, you know, to get right. And I think that's in itself, like perseverance, like especially when you're getting older in college, you start getting that feeling like, man, I gotta make something happen. And, you know, he a killer though. He a killer on that field. He poised. He just go do his thing.
Yeah, no, I was definitely a fan. Like, I was, you know, obviously the games on the West Coast would always come on kind of late out here, and so I would try to watch, you know, obviously watching UCLA as much as I could, but I would catch you guys games because you guys had primetime games, so I was always watching. But I was super impressed with Penix. It felt like a guy that was an athlete, but very cerebral about it, and had really good touch on his ball too. So, yeah, no, that's cool, man.
Yeah, no, all those things to a team, man. He's a hell of a player, but like even better dude. So yeah, that's my guy. My guy.
what was it like for you after you get drafted? Caleb goes 1, and there's this video of him sitting over a computer screen in the back, and here you walk in and you guys start hugging. Did you have an idea that I got a great shot to go here at 9 to Chicago?
I thought I had a pretty good chance. I was keeping my mind open to everything because I just wanted to, whatever happened, with the crazy draft stories that go on. You never know what's going to happen on that day. So, just letting it all be God's plan. And I think, it was a blessing to be able to, go at number 9 with the Bears, and all the stories, the plane ride and the different. Working out with him at USC with Keenan and DJ, all those different things that kind of led up to it were kind of perfect and complementary to one another. So yeah, I got to watch Caleb on the other sideline when he was, getting after us when he was at USC. So I was already a fan of him and some of the embarrassing things he was doing to us. So when that happened, I was like, man, yeah, it's gonna be special.
What do you think? What do you think some of the biggest adjustments that you've had to make from college to the pros, not just in the film room, but on the field too?
I would just say being very, assignment sound and being very, like people say, the speed of the game gets a little quicker. And I think there's some trueness to that. It's not like people are people are quicker, stronger, faster, of course, but I feel like the jump from like high school to college, that's when people they take that huge jump in like strength, speed, and all those different things. Like it's definitely a jump to the NFL, but everybody is just so much smarter and knows exactly where they need to be, exactly what they need to do in their defensive scheme and their responsibilities. So, the windows are a lot tighter, and you have to know exactly at what point during the route you're going to get the ball and what, timing is for the read and all those different things. So being very keen on those type of things, as well as when you're a player in the concept, sort of sacrificing, taking the top off the defense or different things, and knowing your job within, the safeties as well, is something that I've had to master a little bit more at this level for sure.
Yeah. So basically the details, right? Like it's
yeah.
Like it's I think you hit it right on the nose as far as high school to college and then college to the pros. In high school, it's literally maybe 2 or 3 dudes on the team, and then the rest of just guys, right? And then when you get to college, there may be like 5 to 8 dudes on the team, and then the rest are just guys. And when you get to the league, everybody's a dude, And so like the margin for error is that big, and like literally mentally, you just always have to be on. And I asked you that question because it's definitely a conversation that Keenan and DJ and I have had, like just chilling, watching Thursday Night Football. I think to be really good at this level, or in professional sports in general, you have to play with pace and change your pace. And not everything is 100%, right? And to be able to navigate that space and know when you need to go 100 and know when you need to maybe go 70, I think you naturally have that. And I think like watching you in practice, it looks like you've been doing it for a while. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of guys don't really pick up until later. Like there are guys that have run 4.2 at the combine or run 4.3, and then they get in the league and then they're out in 2 or 3 years.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
No,
so like, it's not always about that. It's about, are you a good fucking football player? Can you play ball? Right? And like, do you understand like body positioning, change your pace, when I need to go, when I need to pull back a little bit? And I think naturally, as a rookie, you have that. That's something that like a lot of people wish they had at that age, and it's been impressive so far, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. That's one of the best compliments I've had, man. I appreciate that because that's something that like I really key on with Keenan and DJ. Because I mean, you watch Keenan's game, especially like, man. I mean, he's mastered.
He's different, bro.
Nah, he's mastered it.
That
like
dude can run routes,
bro.
He's a football player.
Keenan was made for man coverage. Like he is surgical, bro. And he does it with so much like ease. Like 1 minute we can talk about some stuff, and then they call him in and it's his rep. And like you know what I'm saying? It's like
switch is flipped. Like he's gone. He's gone.
He's
Like,
different.
yeah, no, for sure. I tell people
So,
all the time, I'm like, man, I like to learn from the best in different things, but it's like sometimes you turn on Keenan's film, you're like, man, just enjoy that. You don't even try and write no notes down on that one. That's Keenan.
so let me ask you a question. I drafted you in fantasy.
Okay.
And I've got you and Caleb and DJ. And everyone's like, you got too many Bears. And I'm starting all you guys. It feels like the offense is like a rocket ship. It's taken off. It's getting comfortable. Are you noticing that? And with it being maybe Jaden Daniels versus Caleb, are you seeing anything different in the building this week? Maybe around Caleb.
No, definitely. I think, the offense is continuing to take strides. And I've told people from week one, it's a process. And, no matter how many training camp reps you do, like you never know exactly how it's going to look like until you get the real thing. And you see how everybody goes out there and performs. So we're continuing to make those strides. And I think we'll continue to do so, going forward. And I think so. Definitely a little bit of different feel. We hear the comments and we hear those different things going on with the, the comparisons and different things like that. And, someone had asked me, it goes either way. You either hype it up or you make it, less than it is. But I don't know. For me, I like the hype a little bit. Like, yeah, that's, you only play, guaranteed 17 games a year. Might as well feel the energy in this one. Feel that prime time timing of it. So I like that a little bit, but also, it's in the back of my mind, like, hey, this is just another Wednesday practice, just another Thursday practice, do my job and things will go well. So, it's mixed between that, but definitely a feel for sure.
Man, that's a great point. And I think the ones that can master that war mentally of getting up for big games and being able to prepare like it's just any game, and you kind of like you want to meet somewhere in the middle so that like you can transmute that energy on game day and not blow your wad or blow your load during the week. And obviously for the last like 3 weeks, we've been watching Washington pretty close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's
No
obviously they're on the schedule, and we're literally trying to figure out like what makes these guys like good. Like because we can't watch full games, right? We just see highlights and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But like I said before, when we first came on, like the defense, they're playing fast, they're playing together. The offense, with the type of quarterbacks that they have, they're doing a really good job of getting the ball out. Easy, simple reads, RPOs, which gives the defense, a harder time to try to kind of lock in on one thing, and it kind of challenges like eye violations on defense and things like that. But as me and Rome sit here today, I feel like Cap, and I'm pretty sure you're going to ask me, the offense is getting better every single day. We're gaining more confidence, and guys are starting to gel. The line is starting to come together, and we're starting to build this identity, right? And a certain brand of football that we want to put out there every single time we step on the field. And obviously, it's never going to be perfect, but I'm excited where we're headed.
Rome, can you imagine being 40 years old and still knocking? I'm watching all 22, and I'm seeing him just bam, drilling guy. 40 years old. Can you imagine that?
Man, I don't know. It's hard. It's in the back of my imagination. I got to work real hard to think about 19 years in the league, 20 years in the league, man. It's impressive for sure. Like I said earlier, especially at that position, like, I give Big Dog all his flowers because that's something that we probably never gonna see again. You know what I mean?
Right.
At that position, like man's playing quarterback. Got a quarterback career over here. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous. So no, it's something that's special, and I think like I said, I'm gonna continue to give Big Dog his flowers.
No, I appreciate that, man. And I've had players come up to me during the game, after the game, like, how are you still doing this like this? Like it was one guy, 44 from Jacksonville, the DN that they got out of Georgia.
Yeah.
And
Trevon Walker.
Yeah, it was a run play that we had. I got in his shit a little bit, pause, and he was like, man, how are you still doing this? And I was like, one day at a time, brother. One day at a time. Like don't put too much on it. It's a kid's game. Do we get to go out here and play for a king's ransom? And I'm just excited to have the opportunity. Obviously, I get to still be here for young guys like you coming in the league and paying it forward. So it's definitely been a blessing, man.
No doubt. No doubt. We appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No doubt.
It's funny. I wanted to ask both of you this. I'll start with you, Big Dog. Tommy Waddle, who played for the Bears and is now a star in the media. Tommy said, I don't miss practice. Sure, the paycheck was great. He goes, you know what I miss? I miss showing up with 52 other guys acting like a jackass on the bus, at the hotel, before meetings, in the locker room. He goes, that's what I miss. He goes, we got to act like children at an adult job. He said it was unbelievable. Do you feel the same way?
I mean, I'll answer it first. Yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. I think, and I'm pretty sure what he's alluding to is camp, right? Like training camp, I'm never gonna miss that. Like
right.
Training camp is a necessary evil that only a chosen few get to do, right? And like you literally have to look at it like that, but it's such a grueling process that you have to go through. And every year that you're in the league, it lightens up, it gets better because of your expectancy, and you know what's happening, you know what camp is like. But I'm never gonna miss that, right? It's the relationships, it's the jokes, it's the pranks in the locker room.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like those things, I'll always miss that. But part of like building this brotherhood and all the friendships and the love that we had, these are my brothers for life. Like Rome will be able to hit me later on down the road if he ever needs anything, and I'll be there. Like I think that's what it's all about, and that's how I've always looked at it. And as we talked about before, Cap, like I don't have a lot of peers that are able to hit my line from all the years that I've been playing. It's only a select few, and normally that's because those select few, we kind of we're attracted to the same things, not just on the field, but in the locker room and how we live our daily lives and how you come to work mentally, how hard you work, how you practice. That kind of sets your value, right? It is what it is. Like people be like, man, that's messed up. You're only his buddy because he's a buddy. Hey, it is what it is. This shit is not for everybody, right? And so I've had a really good time, especially in the last like 6 years of just like being able to step back and be grateful for my moments and always be present. And here we are in this year right now. We got this young fella right here, Caleb, just trying to figure out the game. And I'm excited that I get to help him kind of do that. So it's been great.
How about you, Rome? Is that the most special part of it?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely up there for sure. I think about, just my college experience and, I tell people it's a little bit different of a locker room vibe just because of the age group, and where everybody's at in life, but definitely I feel like that's one of the best parts of the job. Just, there's, a lot of freedom and, kind of a judgeless zone, when we're all together putting in that work and when you have this respect and you respect your peers, because of the work that they put in, that, allows you to, act in sort of a free sense and, in a caring and, humorous manner. So definitely a part of the game that, I cherish for sure. I don't think, you can do this for very long. You don't come into those circumstances and scenarios and enjoy, the company of the people around you. So yeah, and that's something that I'm continuing to build, especially, like Big Dog said, with everybody in the locker room, the new faces, new people, continuing to build those relationships. But, I feel super blessed because I know, not every locker room is like, the one we got with the Bears and, not everything, is as sweet as that. So I cherish it and something that I go into every day, feeling very grateful for sure.
It's a small fraternity, man.
Man.
what is it, like 1,600 of us? Out
Nah,
of,
yeah,
didn't we talk about this, Cap? Out of
And
8 billion, right? There's so many people that wish that they could be doing what we're doing, right? And then
right.
there's a lot of people that think they could do what we're doing, right?
And then they find out.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, we get to do this. And it was one time I spoke to the team, maybe a day in camp, during dog days, and you know how it is, man. That first week of camp, by like day 4 or 5, you're beat down, you're tired, and it's just like complaining, but always keep in perspective that we get to do this. Like this is something that will live on forever if you do it right. And I'm just grateful to, at this point in my career, be able to say that I've done it my way. I've always taken advantage of every single moment and every window that I've had. Football has made me a really good football player, but even a better person. So if you could take anything from me, bro, just stay present, continue to do what you've been doing, and you listen more than you speak. And that's exactly how I was as a rookie. And I think that's what like draws me to you even more, because I see myself in you and how you take care of your business. So sky's the limit for you, bro. I'm proud of you, man.
thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Hey,
Means a
Rome,
lot.
does anybody ever say to you, or Big Dog, especially when you were a Pro Bowl pass catching tight end, anybody ever go, dude, I got you on fantasy, I need more points from you? Have you ever had guys say that?
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, that was natural, right? Like, but there came a point in time where it was just like, yo, like, if it's in the game plan, it's in the game plan. All right. Like, and at this point, I'm in Jacksonville where we're play action pass, running the ball a lot, but I was still able to do my thing, got an all pro, got a Pro Bowl in there. But at a certain point, I was like, yo, I put my hand in the ground, bro. Mind your business.
Right. I've had NBA players tell me they're at the free throw line and guys will be yelling at them, I need 3 more points. It's like craziness.
Yeah, well, go in the gym and go get you 3 more points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong. One more question, bro. So, like, what are your personal goals for this rookie season? And then, how do you measure success this year?
Yeah. It was interesting this year. I mean, of course, one of my goals like was going for 1,000 yards. Looking to go for double digit touchdowns. I just set those numbers just because I think it's important I like numbers to look at for sure. But one of my goals was go get the rookie of the year or get Caleb it as well. So if one of us two wins that one, I'll be good. And those are things like goals I like to set just to, keep me motivated, keep something in the back of my mind, just to continue to look at, for to keep me driven, certain things, and always good to have stuff to, aspirations to look for. But I think success for me, I think is just, one, the team having success, honestly. I think is one of the biggest things, like even in being in this role that I'm in now, like being different than, my senior year of college, like I still enjoy, these wins the same amount, whether I got, one catch for 10 yards or, 6, 7 for 100. Like I love winning balls. So that's something that was reassuring to me, like, okay, yeah, I really do just like winning football games. So I think success for me is just continuing to progress and continuing to learn throughout the entire season, and taking full advantage of these circumstances with Keenan and yourself and DJ and all these people to be able to mentor me and to be able to look at in my first NFL season, I see it as a blessing. So as long as I'm continuing to learn and I look back at the end of the season, like I finished the season a better football player and a better man that I did at the beginning of the season, then I'll say that's success for sure.
I like that, man. And Cap, he's not bullshitting. Like this dude, whether he's running to catch a ball and the ball is coming to him, or he's on the backside and he has to push crack on a safety, he's putting safeties on their back. He's running out of there when the screen's going to make it give the presentation that we're passing the ball deep. He's running even when he's not getting the ball. So it's just stuff like that as a rookie that, like, either you have it or you don't. And either if you do have it, then you'll have a successful career in this league. And if you don't have it, they'll find a way to get your ass out of there, because that's what the league is about, right? Like, you can't, and like how you brought up earlier, it's about the details. How much do you care, right? Like, it's not always about you. This is the ultimate complementary sport. And if you, the sooner you can learn that, the better off you'll be. And I can truly say that you've done that, my guy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hey, everything I can do, man, I'm gonna go do it, just like anybody out there that's putting on that uniform. So I appreciate it, brother.
No doubt.
You guys are excited for this Washington game, as you said a little earlier. Yeah, every game's important. There's only 17 of them, but this one's moved to 325. Maybe it's Jaden against Caleb. Like, it's gonna be super cool, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a thing.
For sure. Yeah, it's gonna be prime time. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's one of them ones everybody back west can watch, back east can watch. Everybody in the country can have their eyes on this one. The players that just played in the noon game, they turned it on like, hold on, let me see what these young bulls talking about. So, now I'm excited for it. It should be good.
Super cool. Well, Rome, thank you for joining the Big Dog Show. My guy he's one of a kind, man. That guy epitomizes being where your feet are. Just take care of your business that day. That dude's something else, and he's a huge fan of yours. So thanks for taking time.
No, I appreciate it, Cap, man. Appreciate you, Big Dog. Honestly, man, just want to say again, it's been a blessing. Your mentorship and everything that you do from on the field, off the field, is a blessing. So I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, brother. I'll holler at you tomorrow.
No doubt, bro. Y'all be easy.
All
right, all the best. That guy's something else, man.
He's special.
Really
he has like a certain sage about him that it kind of shocked me. You know, like, you don't really know what to expect, especially this day and age, and the rookies coming out now with social media, and you just don't know what to expect. And he's you could tell that he's been through some things. He's been through challenges, and just his cadence and the way he speaks and his energy, he has. It's just easy to associate with him if you're that type of guy. And that's why I said earlier, he's just, I had to have him on the show, and I'm glad he was able to make the time, but it's really cool, man.
Well, travel safely to the nation's capital, and 5-2 would taste really good next week, because my friend, the Big Dog, has taught me, and I use it every day when I'm on the air. You can only be 1-0 this week.
That's it. That's it. You can't win games 2 weeks ago. You can't, whatever happened the week before, you can't do nothing about it now. What matters is right now, every single day, and preparing to go out there and put our best product on the field. And so we look forward to it, man.
Have a great week. Travel safe. I'll talk with you next week, and let's go beat the Commanders.
Let's get it, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate
Enjoy
you.
Jamaica.
Oh, you're the man.
All right, bro.
There he is, the great Marcedes Lewis on the Big Dog Show, brought to you by our Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers and our great friends Howard Ankin at Ankin Law, 312-6 million. For Marcedes, for Rome Odunze, I'm Kap. Take that.
I swear I shoot like Berettas. Yeah. They getting nervous, I seen it. What I see.